Well, when I first found out that my child had eczema, it was a combination of a few different symptoms, so it was really a realisation that he had a sensitivity to something.
Advice online is completely confusing. It contradicts itself left, right and centre. There is absolutely nothing that I found that will say exactly the same as another site, and I think it makes, as with anything you go online, it just makes the whole matter quite confusing and upsetting, especially if you've got a really small baby and you're looking for answers immediately.
My top tip for parents who have children with eczema would be to keep a diary. Record what they're eating, if you change any products in the home such as washing powder, shampoo, bath products, that sort of thing. We make sure that they wash and dry their hands really well, and in particular their wrists, because if sleeves are wet then that can really irritate.
Guilty. Still guilty. Is it going to get worse? Is it going to get bigger? Is it going to cover more parts of the body? It does become sort of an anxious niggle that sort of sits with you all the time, because the last thing you want is for it to obviously become so excessive that it's sort of impinging on normal life.
We've taught them kind of basic kind of additional hygiene precautions to take if they've got broken skin, and that's when I worry, because I'd hate for it to get more complicated.
We did go through a phase where we kind of reduced the baths and it wasn't daily, but we did notice the difference with his skin, so we obviously went back to sort of daily baths.
We've had to help the children alter their daily routine slightly to help support them and make sure that their eczema isn't any worse than it needs to be. So they need to be really careful with their hand washing and make sure that it's completely dried. For them, where that becomes a problem is when they're at school, because obviously we're not there to kind of oversee how they're washing and drying their hands. So we've had to go to the school and ask for a little bit of extra support to support that part of their routine. But other than that, I think it's not too bad.
We make Owen stand like a scarecrow, fixed to the point, arms outstretched, and whilst applying lotions we try and make him tickle and make fun of the situation, but at the same point it gives you that 20-30 seconds or however long to apply the lotion.
My advice, like it would be to any parent, would be to not sit back, to go and be proactive, to go and obviously look around at alternatives. Find something that works for you, because what works for you and your child might not necessarily be what works for somebody else.
Make it fun, you know, the creams and the oils and the lotions, they're not there to scare the child, they're part of the daily working routine for your child and you, and it's there for a benefit really, so just make that fun and not a scary time for your child.
Don't worry, it's really not the end of the world. It doesn't have to be a serious condition in most cases, so learn everything that you can, take sensible precautions, and it should be fine.